Resource Recruiting joining us today, and we're joined by Corporal Laura Lee Williamson to toss the coin today. All right, Wanderers have won the coin toss and are kicking towards the Michael Long centre end today.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 16 of the TIO NTFL season. And we've got the big Women's Premier League clash between Wanderers and Buffettes here this afternoon. Joining me are Heidi Thompson and Stu Davis for the call. My name is Liz Cruz, and we're going to get it underway pretty quickly. Stu.
Wow, ready to go already. Quick turnover from the last men's game, but we're underway, and Buffs first hands on the ball. And strong mark overhead taken by Shakeen Dasachi there for Wanderers, and drives them forward for the first time in the game. Ruck contest there at half forward. It's Taylor Harder-Looney at the bottom of that, but it spills out now, and ball's going nowhere, and we'll have a ball up just on the point of the centre square. Wanderers attacking side of centre.
Blue boots on today for Taylor, Stu, just in case you were wondering. She must be rotating them every fortnight.
So we've got a free kick here to Shara Davin for Wanderers, drives them forward, inside forward 50. But Kylie Duggan, as ever, back there in defence. But again, Dasachi intercepting, kicks towards goal, just offline, and a lively start for Wanderers. And of course, Wanderers got up by a couple of points last time they played the Buffettes, and so they'd like their chances again, maybe, Heidi.
Yeah, I think Buffs are really looking forward to this game to redeem themselves from last week, but also the game they played against Wanderers early on in the season.
So it's Maria Bilius out there for Wanderers, took that strong mark and drove them back forward again. In there doing some strong work was Georgia Halkitis, but was caught with the ball, and it'll be a free kick to Buffaloes deep in defence. Kicks towards the outer side. First to the ball there was Deanna Peckham, hand passed inside. Ball comes forward again. Peckham again over the ball, but it beats her over the boundary line, so a boundary throw in.
Both teams are coming off losses as well, with Buffs probably losing in an upset to Nightcliff last week, so they'll both be looking for the win today.
And of course, Heidi, we did the Nightcliff Wanderers game just before Christmas, and Wanderers beat Nightcliff in that game. So
Yeah, that's right.
the form line suggests Wanderers would win this one, but I'm not sure that's the case. Buffs,
I think two very different teams compared to the teams they had lining up.
and Buffs obviously in second place and looking to consolidate that second place by winning today. Inside forward 50 again for Wanderers here, but some good defensive work back there by Danielle Tottenham. Hand passed across, and the kick comes out now, and contested mark there, almost taken, but on the ground again. And umpires found a free kick, and it will go to Tashara Davin for Wanderers.
Got a really nice, neat kick to Shara. Gets a nice purchase into the forward line.
Ball on the ground there. Carbone in there dispossessed, and umpire says she didn't dispose of the ball properly when she was tackled, and it's Shakeen Dasachi who's been really prominent in the first few minutes of this quarter.
And over the course of the whole season, I'd probably say one of the most consistent performers for Wanderers, and captain today. She did the coin toss. Morgan Johnston, notable out for Wanderers, departing tomorrow for Melbourne.
So Dasachi's kick just faded away, and another minus score for Wanderers, but all the attacking with Wanderers at the moment, and Buffs struggling to get it out of their defensive 50.
Yeah, mainly through Dasachi. She's been kicking it into the forward line, so if they can shut her down and really match up well, I think they'll start to get a bit more run.
Trindle Price for Buffets took the mark in the back pocket and drove it out towards half back, where it's dribbles over the line amongst a cluster of players there.
Sophie Armistead just coming onto the ground here, number 5 for Wanderers. Just recently been named vice captain for Norwood down in the SANFLW, so congratulations, Soph, and she's straight into the guts here, wanting to get her hands on the ball.
Ball spills free now. Kylie Duggan gets a hand pass forward for Buffs. Armistead's in there, and strongly tackled by Meredith Turner there for Buffets. It was a really good tackle, and she had no opportunity to get rid of the ball there, and subsequently penalised for holding the ball.
Seen some great tackle pressure early, haven't we?
Yeah,
That's
they're
been
going
good.
for it.
Yes, it was like that the game we did last week, Heidi, as well. We're really impressed with the endeavour of both sides. So it's the big ruck there. Tanya Dew for Buffs running through. She's hobbling off now. Looks like she's hurt herself a bit there. But Wanderers go forward again towards half forward. But a strong mark taken back there by Iacono.
She's really reinvented herself this season, Iacono. Probably wouldn't be playing in the back line too often, and as a key defender, she's really played her role quite marvellously for Buffs.
Long kick forward by Carbone, goes inside forward 50 for Buffs for the first time in the game. And an opportunity now, a good hand pass out by Duggan. And it's Jojo Dodsworth who kicked forward for Buffaloes, but mopped up back there. But an opportunity again for Buffs through Carbone. She drives the ball long, but it's all Wanderers here, and mark's easily taken there. And that's Tashara Davin, is it?
Yeah, and Shakeen Dasache's actually dropped back in a defensive role now. I'm not sure whether she's done that just to help out, or whether she's been rotated through the back line.
So ball wrapped up there, and
A couple of sisters as well, Stu. Jamila Tottenham, number 1 there for Wanderers, playing against her sister Danielle.
yeah, I wonder if the coaches have thought to match them up directly on each other. Dasachi again with some clever footwork, gets out of a bit of trouble and then drives the ball long out of defence, looking for Sophie Armistead there, but under some pressure couldn't take the mark. Hand pass across the top by Gunderson for Buffs, but ball spills out now, and it's Carbone who's trying to break the tackle there. Does so now, runs inside 50 and kicks beautifully down, and that's Dodsworth on the end of that one.
Yeah,
for the
it's
Buffs.
an area that Dom Carbone's very strong at, that don't argue, and has been caught a number of times last year, but she's really got some power through those legs.
So Dodsworth kicks, it's going towards the goal square. Some shepherding work down there by Rosanna DeSantis, but the ball was offline and through for a behind only for the Buffets. Rosanna back in for the first time for quite a few weeks, I think.
Also Marley Gunderson, I'm excited to see her play today. She's probably a little underdone, being that she hasn't been training and playing, but really exciting start to the year.
So Buffs going forward again. Rosanna DeSantis there under pressure from a couple of Wanderers defenders, and the ball spills through for another behind.
Do you think Dom gets that that toughness from her basketball or a football, or a bit of both there?
Yeah.
We know she's a high-level basketballer as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely transfers over. Just the fact that she can work in tight spaces and has that leg drive. Crystal Brown about to kick her first goal for today. She's a big inclusion last week we spoke about, being that Catherine Big River Hawks has withdrawn from the competition, and she's going to be playing for the Buffs for the rest of the season, and that's a huge in for the Buffettes.
Yeah, so Wanderers attempted a dangerous short kick in and was chopped off by Dodsworth and got it over to Crystal Brown, and she kicked the goal pretty easily from the goal square. So the first goal of the game to the Buffettes, and after Wanderers had the ball camped in their forward line for the first 5 minutes or so of the quarter, Buffs have taken it down and taken advantage of some possession in their forward line.
Crystal's really experienced too. She's a premiership player down at Catherine with Eastside, and once their women's competition got going, and she'll bring some real strength for the Buffs team for the rest of the season.
Ball up again. And
So Meredith Turner's doing the ruck duties while Ju's off.
yeah, we've seen Ju in the ruck the last couple of games, and she's basically been doing it for the duration, but obviously forced off with a bit of an injury this time. So there's Brown again for Buffs. Hand passes back. Kick goes inside 50, and it's Parriman back there for Wanderers. Picks up and breaks away. Kicks straight down the middle of the ground, but Gunderson there for Buffs takes the mark and drives them forward again. She's got a couple of players out here, and
Delcia Wang.
picks up Delcia Wang, who's a focal point forward for Buffs every week, and she'll go back and kick from about 35 out. She'll kick from. This will just test her a bit, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. Distance might be a bit of an issue here.
Kicks now towards the goal line, and defender just got a finger to that one. Almost snuck past, but another minus score to Buffs.
Yeah, they've got a formidable forward line, Buffs. If you look at Delcia Wang, who is one of their key targets up forward, then you look at the likes of Taylor Harder-Looney, who they can go to as well. They've got some real options with Crystal Brown coming into the team.
So ball just kept in play there. Wrestle forward on the ground. It spills over the boundary line now, with Tishara Davin falling on top of it, and we'll have a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Buffs. Ball goes over the top of that ruck contest. Good hands in close, and Carbone tackled, gets her hand pass back into the corridor. Wanderers have got some numbers around there, but can't get the ball out cleanly. It's on the ground now. Kylie Duggan appealing for a free kick, not paid. Hand pass comes away again, and shot at goal by
Tamika
Bullen,
Yep.
yes. Didn't go through. I picked up down there
Still
by
going.
the Buffs, and play's still going on, and a shot at goal by Kerry O'Connell.
Kerry
Came
had
off
about
the-
4 or 5 touches then. She was the one with the quick hands out, so she's doing a good job in there.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't finish it right in front of goal there.
Yeah, but was under pressure, and hit the goal post. So ball comes out here now, and kick out of defence by Ivana Schober for Wanderers into the centre square. Ball's on the ground, and now we've got a whistle on the play. Umpire says that was a throw, so free kick goes to Wanderers, and that's Alia Lee who kicks the ball out to the outer side. She's back in there again, helping out her teammate, but doesn't get it. Players fall on the ball, and hand pass comes out again. Quick kick out by Chev Fewings for Buffs, and it's Duggan first there for Buffs, but some good defensive work by Wanderers, and they've got the opportunity again. And hand pass there by Jamila Totham, but Buffaloes on the end of that get the kick forward towards centre half forward. Ball on the ground again, and good hands there to Shara Davin, who drives Wanderers out of defence towards the grandstand wing. foot race here, and it was Gunderson who was first there, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Now she dives over the top of her Wanderers opponent, not illegally according to the umpire, and Kiona DeSarchi it was on the bottom of that.
Showed some good wheels there, Gunderson.
She did.
Get out there, but Wanderers on the end of it. Gunderson's in the action again, tapped it forward. That's almost a throw, I would think, and that's been called. So a free kick to Buffaloes, and it's Kerry O'Connell again in the action. No one on the mark, so she runs forward, chips inside, and finds Taylor Harder-Looney there. She drives long towards full forward, ball over the back, and Buffs another opportunity here, picked up eventually, and running into the open goal with the left foot is Meredith Turner, and that's
she doesn't
Buffs'
miss from
second
there,
goal.
Stu. She's actually a key defender, normally playing for Buffs, but it looks like they've thrown her forward in a new role for today. I just want to mention as well Sophia Malboy. She's come off the ground now. They all took opportunities then to make some rotations, both teams. But Soph Malboy has just been recently appointed as our under-16 development coach in our NT Thunder Academy. So we are delighted to announce that. She's going to add a whole bunch to that program, and the girls are going to absolutely love her and get around her heap. So
that's
Well
fantastic.
done.
That's a fantastic appointment. She's a lot of energy, Sophia, and she'll be great for the group, that's for sure.
Well, at the 13-minute mark, we've got Buffettes 2-4-16, leading Wanderers 0-2-2, with the goal kickers Meredith Turner and Crystal Brown.
So ball up again. Looks like Jew's back in the action for Buffs, but it's Harder-Looney who gets the clearance, and she's
front centre as well. Good spot.
That's right, and she's tackled strongly and ball dropped to ground, so penalised there for holding the ball. That was some good work in defence, and it's Hua Hariwa who won that free kick and found DeSarchi, who drives Wanderers forward again towards half forward, but a bit of a wall across there for Buffs, and they paddle along in front, and some good work there by Danielle Totham, but
Soph Armistead getting into the action there, winning a free.
She's pretty tough, Soph.
so right in the centre of the ground, and she's looking to go straight up the corridor.
Yeah, straight to their full forward, which is all right, but nobody's in the square now. So someone needed to recognise that. One player's dropping back now.
So Halkitis it was who took that mark, kicked forward, and the ball's bouncing around just outside the goal square. Some strong body work in there, trying to tap it out, but Buffalo's players over it now, and the ball comes out, paddled forward again, and then a kick off the ground clears it out of the danger zone for the Buffettes. Tanya Dew in there doing the strong work, and picks up and hands it across to Elisa Ayres, who found a teammate O'Connell at half back.
Well done, Tanya Dew. She just beat two girls then, and she's probably twice their age.
Body
so
work, though,
good on her.
really smart and crafty with her body.
Yep.
Armistead off the ground pretty cleverly there, got it forward for Wanderers, a hand pass over the back, but Buffs should tidy this one up with plenty of numbers. Eventually a kick off the ground, and the mark's taken there by Shayala Khan for Wanderers just outside 50. There's a player down inside the 50 there for Wanderers, and play stops because of that. The ball went in the vicinity of that injured player. Can't see who it is right now, but yeah, so Wanderers had the bulk of the play early, and since then Buffs have flexed their muscles a bit and got a couple of goals on the board and dominated the play really.
They have, and I think they'll improve as the game goes on, but I haven't been super impressed with their method around a contest. It seems to be really congested, not much structure. I know they've had a few changes compared to last week, so maybe they're just finding their feet, but siren's gone.
Clock obviously didn't stop for that injury break, but anyway, there we are. So first quarter sort of fizzed out a bit in the end with that injury break, but Buffs holding a 14-point lead at quarter time.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Welcome back to the second quarter of the TIO NTFL Women's Premier League. We've got Wanderers 0-2-2, trailing the Buffets 2-4-16. In an interesting first quarter, Heidi, what do you think the coaches had to say at quarter time?
Yeah, look, I don't think Chris Atkinson would be super impressed with that start from Buffs. Just seemed to be really scrappy and not much structure around the ball at all. Wanderers, I thought the pressure was up. I thought they actually got off to a bit of a flyer, and I just talked about Desace maybe playing a bit more of a midfield role rather than that key defender role.
So we're underway again. Dew won the hit out. Dominique Carbone towed it forward to deep inside forward 50 for Buffs. But the kick comes out here. Is Malboy there for Wanderers. Outnumbered a bit with the Buffs forwards, but the ball eventually comes out and Carbone kicks across towards centre half forward, but chipping in there and doing some good work. The Wanderers defender and player interfered with there.
Yeah, lovely kick to advantage from Tottenham there. Wanderers just need to lower their eyes here and have a look, hit up a target rather than just bombing it long.
So it's Jade Jones-Cabillo with the free kick. She drives it forward and a strong overhead mark taken there again by Shakeen Desace.
Yeah, she's the key, I think, for Wanderers.
Kick was a little bit untidy though and chopped off across half back by Iacono for Buffs. In the hands of Kylie Duggan now. She hand passes back inboard, a bit risky as Heidi said. And Wanderers the opportunity. Tashara Davin there overran the ball, but gets another opportunity now, but couldn't take it. And good hand pass back there by Iacono, and Kylie Duggan eventually drives the ball out of defence for Buffs into the centre of the ground. Some strong body work in there, and it's picked up by Crystal Brown. She's in there again. Hand passes back to Duggan, who's tackled as soon as she took possession of the ball. Ball spilled out. And
tough. That was a tough call. I'm not sure she had pride there, but Jamila Tottenham, she was on a mission. Well done.
Kicks inside and finds Armistead between wing and half forward. Armistead drives the ball inside forward 50 now for Wanderers. Strong spoil from behind, and Armistead's in there again.
Yeah, having a little bit more impact now.
Put her nose over the ball and scored the high tackle. So 50 metre penalty. That's a huge penalty for the Buffets, and that'll take her right to the goal line.
Yeah, Soph just took a little bit to get going in that first quarter, which is, to be fair, in the heat up here, she's probably not used to it and just acclimatising to the conditions. This is her first game for 2020. But maybe at the quarter-time break, Dave Tottenham, their coach, might have just said, hey, we need a bit more from you here. So she's delivered with a goal. Yeah,
so just the start that Wanderers were looking for. They were obviously goalless in the first quarter and hugely aided by that 50 metre penalty, and they're on the board first in this second quarter.
Yeah, we were just talking at the break about the new look team, I guess, with Buffs. There's quite a few players in here that have played a number of games of football, but maybe not back to back. And it just looks that way for Buffs at the moment, a little bit disjointed, whereas Wanderers, although missing Morgan Johnston, seem to be playing much more of a team game and working to advantage.
Yeah, so obviously we covered the Buffets game last week, and lots of changes from that side, Heidi. So and they went down in that game by a couple of points, which was a fantastic game of women's Premier League football. But
yeah, one of the best games I've seen up here. Been up here for just over a year now, and certainly the best game this season that I've seen. Most entertaining, most skillful.
So ball spills forward for Wanderers, but Iacono there, strong as ever in defence, gets a hand pass forward, and Buffs go into attack again. Ball's on the ground there, and hand pass comes out, but a kick by Tashara Davin for Wanderers sees them go into attack. There's plenty of space out there, and picked up and hand pass, and then a quick kick forward, but chopped off defensively there by Amy Narkle for Wanderers. She chips in looking for Kalakis, but avoided her, unfortunately, and Buffs the opportunity to come out. Dodsworth there picks up, hand passes forward, and Hartalooni puts Buffs inside forward 50 again. Some strong bodywork there, but illegal according to the umpire.
Oh, Rosie DeSantis is free in the square, but they didn't get it quick enough in there. She was chomping at the bit to get the footy then.
Loves a goal, Rosie. So
Delcy Wang, a beautiful pass to the leading Crystal Brown.
we could still see it yet.
And Delcy's just drifting forward. Looks like she might be looking to get in position to receive it back. But Crystal's going to go long instead. Goes right towards the goal square, drifts off to the right-hand side and bounces out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
I'm not sure whether she saw Meredith Turner running out then, but she was
She
totally
was in
unmarked.
plenty of space, that's
I was
right.
thinking maybe she's got the distance, but that's a huge kick. So probably just needed to be a bit smarter with the disposal there.
So the boundary throw in, Tamika Bullen doing the ruck work for Buffettes, but Wanderers clear it off that last line, but it comes straight back in with a kick from Andrew Gonanon, and Mark's been claimed.
I think Delcy touched it first, so yep.
And the kick comes across,
Kylie
and
Duggan.
She might be able to redeem herself here, Dugs. I recall the time down the other end where she probably should have kicked a goal and went straight across the face. So
She usually prefers to handball, but she won't be this time. Has her shot at goal and no problem at all.
Redemption, Dugs, well done.
Yeah, well, like you said, Heidi, when we were watching the huddle at quarter time, there was Jarla Ali and Lucy Adam and Lauren Flanagan and quite a few players. Melinda Taylor, yeah, you name it. There was probably 6, I think, we named out there. So they've got a lot of depth down there at Buffs. So ATCO might just be rotating them.
Yeah, I think just a strategic move this weekend. Potentially trying to get girls ready for finals and making sure they've got enough games, but also getting some run in their legs if they haven't had too much game time out there in case they are needed come finals.
Well, at the 6-minute mark, we've got Buffs 3-4-22, leading Wanderers 1-2-8.
So the restart again, and Kylie Duggan gets the clearance this time for Buffs, having just kicked the goal. And she's in there again, nose over the ball, picks up, hand passes out, and her teammate Tamika Bullen drives Buffs forward, bouncing there about 30 metres out from the Buffs goal. Ball's on the ground and eventually spills out. A kick off the ground is going towards the goal. It's going to dribble through.
That is a goal.
Might have been a right foot kick from Taylor Hartalooni. I didn't see it, but it looked like her right side.
It was definitely Taylor in those blue boots.
Yep, that's it. She'll be happy with that. Socket it through.
Good way to kick them.
I think she might have done that last week with Carbone. That link up. Was that last week or the week before? Dom Carbone tried to kick it through and then Hartalooni came through and just socketed it through, preferring to kick off the ground.
Tamika Bullen was really good again. We've seen her in the ruck, but she's a really strong body. She's a good netballer. She's been up in Darwin for about 6 or 7 years, I reckon now, and they call her Tammy in the team, and they love her down there at Buff, so well done to Tamika for clearing that ball out.
Yeah, it looks like they might be rotating through their ruck stocks because I think Tanya Dew has done a lot over the last couple of weeks. Not a bad strategy from Chris Atkinson.
Yeah, I don't think Wanderers have got much height there either.
So the ball spills out now and kick forward there by Gonanon. On the end of that was is that Meredith Turner. Swings round on the left foot.
Lovely
Inside
kick.
50. Dodsworth
Lovely
making good
kick.
position here and got
kick.
on the end of that kick. And it's some good team play by Buffettes to work the ball forward. And Jojo Dodsworth, who kicked a few goals a couple of weeks ago, was a bit quieter last week, but she's been in the play a bit today so far again. So
Yeah, this might be a little bit beyond her distance.
gets a pretty good piece of
Sure,
it.
we can get it through. No.
Sail all the way over the pack.
Prove me wrong, Jojo.
Commentator's curse.
I think the players in the goal square thought it was
that.
thought it was out of her range, and it cleared them.
And Hartalooni really
Just on
smart
the-
on the line there.
yeah.
Didn't try and take the mark. Knew that she just needed to body those two defenders out and work the ball through.
Well, Dodsworth's one of those baby Buffs who's won 2 premierships in the under-18s in the last few seasons, and this year she's played 12 games of Women's Premier League, so she's going pretty well. But here's a fun fact: she's had 4 broken arms in her life.
Wow, unlucky.
That is a lot when
She's
you're
a
not very
little
old.
bit injury prone, I must admit. She was in our under-18 academy last season, and there were a few times there where injuries cursed her a little bit, but she's been injury-free this season, touch wood, and been playing really good football. Huge improvements actually from her game.
4 broken arms. Lucky she's an insect and still got 2 good ones. Chopper Dew won the hit out there for Buffett's, but it's a free kick to Wanderers, and Jamila Totham will take the free kick in the centre of the ground. Kicks towards centre half forward now, but chopping across there is Iakono again for Buffs. Under plenty of pressure though, and couldn't pick up cleanly. She's in there again, gets a quick kick out. Some good defensive work. Kylie Duggan again with good hands. And
more urgency there for Wanderers. They actually had really good numbers around the contest, but no one wanted to win that footy.
So ball's trapped in underneath here, and we'll have a ball up just forward of centre for Wanderers, kicking towards the Michael Long centre end in this second quarter. Dew again wins that hit out, straight down to her feet, but Armistead for Wanderers was first in there, got a hand pass forward, ball comes back into her hands, and now Wanderers the opportunity to toe off the ground, but Gunderson, clean hands in there, picks up, hand passes across, and the kick forward by Ah Wang.
Solid game there, Jamila Totham.
She has.
And she kicks in short to Sophie Armistead.
Of course, Jamila's dad's Dave Totham, who's the coach, and he coached Wanderers women to their first ever grand final appearance a few years ago. So he's back at the helm this season.
So Armistead's kick out of defence, some strong body work in there, and the hand pass comes out from Jones Cabillo, but it's O'Connell who kicks forward for
Having
Buffett's.
some sort of game, O'Connell. She's everywhere.
And kick around the corner there from Hartaluni, found Carbone just outside 50. She kicks.
They do like to link up, and they've tried it again there.
So Hartaluni back in there again, swings around onto that favoured left foot. She's got a player free in the goal square, chips it over, and that's some good vision there by Hartaluni. Didn't blast away at the goals, saw the teammate there, and Meredith Turner took the mark right at the top of the goal square.
If that was you, Stu, would you just play on? So I can't stand. That's why. That's why I would have played on.
I put her down for a goal then.
The set shot right in front. The one you're supposed to kick.
They're always the worst.
Yeah, that's why.
We've all been there.
Bit of separation from the defender. I would have been turning and going.
Yeah.
You want the crowd to see you though, Heidi.
The glory moment.
I'd much prefer kicking on the run. Shara Davin got in the kicking out duties, is it?
Yep, I think so. So kicks out towards the 50-metre line. Contest for the ball there. Wang over the top. But Wanderers working it out. Gunderson in there again for Buffs. Working hard. She's got plenty to work against though. 3 Wanderers opponents, and eventually it spills their way. And a long kick forward into space. But first back here is Danielle Totham, but the ball rolled and rolled and rolled and beat her out of bounds. But she'll get the free kick anyway under the last touch rule. She's just realised that now. Wanderers haven't. There's no one on the mark, so she's stammering a bit, not sure where to go, and the kick's gone astray.
Hesitation there, just in 2 minds. Probably needed to go down the line there rather than into density.
So Kalakis for Wanderers drives them inside forward 50. Ball on the ground and hacked off the ground there by Imogen Briston for Buffs, but into the hands of Malboy.
Clean.
Malboy, clean as you said, and a beautiful kick. And the opportunity there for Maria Bilius. She's tackled, gets the hand pass across, and some good defensive work by Buffs gives them the opportunity to clear, but a smother there, and Totham the kick out, and it's marked there by O'Connell once again.
O'Connell again. Well, she's the auntie of Bo O'Connell, who plays for Wanderers.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
what Bo would think of this.
Yeah, well, she's pretty good. She's a mum of 4 kids, and you see her at the footy week in, week out, so I reckon she's doing all right.
So Nicole Schmidt kicked it forward, and Buffs the opportunity to work forward again. Some strong work there by Meredith Turner. Got the hand pass across to Carbone. Carbone wheels around and drives inside 50.
Free.
Delcia
get it to her, get it to her. Go.
And working back is Tiffany Parriman, and just enough pressure, I think. And Parriman picks up and breaks that tackle and did really well defensively then, but her kicks missed the target coming out, but another opportunity here. And but Carbone in there, tenacious as ever, picks up, hand passes forward as she's tackled, but Wanderers have got some numbers back there now.
Just Crystal Brown totally free in the 50 here.
Carbone in there again, got a hand pass forward, picked up in defence by Daventry, hand passes back into the corridor, and Hartaluni picks up for Buffs, kicks towards goal and puts it through for her second for the quarter.
Yeah, just lacking a bit of discipline, I think, Wanderers. Looking around, not sure who to take. They've got to man up better than that against a team like Buffs sitting second on the ladder. You know you're going to come up against pretty quality opposition. Although they have got a different team today, I think Wanderers need to just fix that up at half-time.
They call her the baby whisperer, Taylor Hartaluni. And she's in and under, isn't she? And she's also got a green advanced belt in karate. So there's another skill to add to her bow. And it's almost half time. We've got Buff 6-5-41, leading Wanderers 1-2-8 at the 15.5-minute mark, Stu.
Yeah, so Wanderers kicked the first goal of the quarter, and it looked promising for them then, but Buffs have since kicked 4 unanswered goals and blown that margin out a bit. So the hit out goes forward for Buffs, but Malboy in there doing some good clean work again, picks up and drives out to space here towards the grandstand. Coming in there for Wanderers was Jones Cabillo, but missed her target, and now gets into the back of Elisa Ayres, and Ayres will take the free kick for Buffs on this grandstand wing. She's looking to switch the ball dangerously to a one-on-one there, and in the back of her opponent there was Nicole Schmidt. And
yeah, a bit of urgency from Soph Malboy there. Good understanding the game, the awareness of the game, time on the clock.
Shayala Khan with that free kick, but it's all Buffaloes there, first to the ball. And now picked up cleanly there by Gonanon. She drives Buffs forward again. O'Connell's at the bottom of this one again, evades a couple of players, and just wanders off and kicks forward towards Rosie DeSantis. She picks the ball up, dodges herself. Bit of candy there from Rosie, and
she's got the high five and the cuddle afterwards from Kylie Duggan for that too.
Delcy unfortunately couldn't hold on to the mark down forward and then gave away the free kick. So,
she enjoys her footy, Rosie.
Kick comes out of defence. Rosie DeSantis sitting under this one, couldn't take the mark, but Wanderers out of defence again. Iakono in there, slaps the ball forward as Gonanon fell over the top of her, and Iakono will take the free kick.
She's been good, Iakono.
Yeah, she's had some sort of a season, that's for sure.
So DeSarchi for Wanderers streaming out of defence. Drives the ball towards this wing again. It's Jones, Cabillo and Kalakis in there for Wanderers, but Kylie Duggan claiming a free kick. Play on's the call. Hacked off the ground there by Danielle Totham. Working in hard was Carbone again, but some good defensive work by Hua Haruiwa for Wanderers. Found a teammate, but wasn't able to dispose of the ball.
Your footy,
Emma
Jojo,
Bond.
don't run away from it. She won the free and then ran away.
She kicks lateral to Kylie Duggan in a bit of space, and she drives forward now, and good mark on the end of this is Brown.
Smart footballer, Crystal Brown. Solid overhead, got a lovely kick.
She's going to be a huge inclusion for them come finals time.
Yeah.
So DeSarchi again working hard in defence for Wanderers. Kicks out here where Shober's on the end of this one. Picks up and drives Wanderers down towards the wing. Iakono coming across with Armistead. This will be a good contest and clash of bodies, but the siren sounds now, and after Wanderers were promising early, Buffett's flexed their muscles really and kicked the last 4 goals of the quarter. So at half-time, we've got Darwin Buffett 6-5-41 with a handy lead over Wanderers 1-2-8.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1, bun with icing. No, pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
On territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Choosing a health fund can be tricky. Some are too big, too small, or just not right at all. But with Territory Health Fund, you can make sure your cover is the right fit.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
Get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffle, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthday is coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Well, welcome back. We've just seen half-time of the Wanderers versus Buffets game of the TIO NTFL Women's Premier League season. We've got Buffets 6-5-41 leading Wanderers 1-2-8, and I've got Stu Davis and Heidi Thompson joining me here. My name's Liz Cruz, and we just watched the half-time expo for the Australian Defence Force Recruiting Day. That looked like a bit of fun there, Heidi.
Yeah, had a couple of kids out there having a kick and hand pass through the markers.
And we saw Corporal Lorelei Williamson toss the coin before the game, which was great to have the Australian Defence Force down here for their recruiting day as well. Well, Stu, we're ready to go for the third quarter. I'll hand it over to you.
So, Dew gets her hand to the ball again for Buffs. A strong tackle in the midfield there. Play on's the call, and I think she's in a bit of trouble there.
On might have hit her head here.
Play on... But I think the umpires
player safety
wisely called a halt to play while some attention comes out.
Didn't actually play last week, Angie Goninon. Had a bit of a niggle and wasn't sure whether she was going to play this weekend. Looks like she's recovered, but unfortunately really heavy knock there.
Just coming up again on the replay here, and just went to get a kick away, and
just didn't have any hands to absorb the force of that.
Almost
Back
a bit
of
of
the head.
A little bit of whiplash and head on the ground. But she's up and walking off, so that's good news anyway.
Not good news for my academy though. She's going to be one of our most consistent performers. Well, has been super committed to NTFL this season in the Women's Premier League. Played almost every game except for the game last week. So to see that is pretty sickening, and not great for Anju's development, but we wish her well and hope to see her back out there, possibly not today, but next week.
Sure, she'll bounce back.
Looks like she's got a little smile on her face. She's another one of the baby Buffs that's come through playing in those under-18s premierships, Heidi.
Yeah, quality player, and she's really transitioned quite nicely into Women's Premier League.
I went away on a trip a few years ago with a Kickstart and All Nations with her, and she's a quiet achiever, you would call her.
Yeah, she doesn't say much.
Lovely girl, though.
So Jess Mowboy in there.
Jess Mowboy?
Oh, no. I knew I'd say that one day. I've avoided it. I've avoided it for about 3 games.
Stu Thompson and Jess Mowboy.
Sorry, Stu. I started that off with the wrong names.
That's right.
You can blame me.
Classic Cruisy.
Imagine if we had Jess Mowboy out there, though. That would bring a crowd.
Taylor Harder-Looney again on the end of that one, and she just looks to have plenty of time and pretty casual in everything she does, and you just think that maybe if she steeled herself a bit more, some of her finishing might be a bit better. She's missed that one again, unfortunately.
Yeah, could have taken an extra couple of steps and gone straight into goal and directly with the drop punt, but decided to go the snap.
So Desatri again for Wanderers drives them out here, but some clever work on the boundary line here by Imogen Briston for Buffs. Drives the ball forward. Gunderson in there, taps it forward. Harder-Looney again picks up. It's slung as she gets her hand pass. Gunderson toes it backwards, and Briston in there again for Buffs. Kicks the ball across towards half forward. O'Connell in there, gets her toe to the ball. Kicks it out in front, but it's a foot race on now. And Emma Bond was first there for Wanderers, got a hand pass back inside, but didn't hit the target. Ball is stuck underneath now. It looks like it's going to bobble out. Umpire's giving it plenty of time to come out, but eventually it gets dragged back in, and Kylie Duggan stands up with the ball and kicks forward for Buffets. But ball on the ground again. Harder-Looney taps it out, looking here for Nicole Schmidt, but Mowboy there, ball spilled out of her hands to Carbone, straight into the goal. And Delcy Wang on the end of it, a couple of metres out from goal, just turned around and kicked it through easy as you like. So
I really like that contest just outside the 50 here. You got Gem Icono just roving around, all the Wanderers players dive in, and Duggs ends up coming out with it and just gets some nice perches into the forward line. That's the Buffs of old that we've seen over the course of this season.
Yeah, well, Kylie Duggan's won 3 Buffets Best and Fairest awards, and you can see why week in, week out. She's just an experienced performer who gets the ball out and gets it into their forward line.
And clean hands,
Yeah.
you know, that's the point of difference, I think. Clean hands and just the confidence to take it on and run with the ball. And yeah, she drives them forward continually. So starting in the middle again now.
Yeah, we had Tarkan Lockyer up here a couple of weeks ago as part of the National Academy camp, and he was talking about the fact that in the girls' game it is the clean hands but also decision-making under pressure. So you just saw it right then and there, Buffs being really good under pressure but also clean.
And Kylie Duggan again gets that clearance.
I think Sophia Malboy is holding her ankle there in the middle, which would be a big loss for Wanderers.
Would be. Carbone hooks that in one-handed and kicks on the left out in front of Brown. Brown couldn't take that ball cleanly, but Carbone's in there again. She picks it up. She's tries to shrug off a couple of tacklers, does eventually, and wheels around and drives Buffs deeper forward. It's Tashara Davin underneath that one. Got a hand pass out under some pressure, and coming out of defence was Halkitis for Buffs, but for Wanderers, but Buffs another opportunity, but some strong work again by Halkitis, and she kicks it outside 50. Due out there for Buffs doing the work on the ground, gets a hand pass forward. Hartaluni swings the ball back inside 50, but that's Hariwa for Wanderers, who's been pretty good in defence today. Cleared again for them, and now Wanderers the opportunity to go forward. Quick kick forward by Alia Lee, but
good tackle.
A good tackle. And
Jones Cabello, I think it is.
Yeah, so a good tackle and an opportunity for Wanderers to mount an attack here.
Malboy's back up and running around a bit
she is.
slowly, but yeah.
She's running it off.
She's pretty tough. Jess's sister.
So I bet she hates that too. But anyway, the kick goes forward, and Gunderson the opportunity.
Pretty sure Jess is the #1 ticket holder for Buffs, so there she is.
Yep.
Sophia
Malboy.
Just needs to see some spread here, out towards the wing. That's where she kicks it.
Strong overhead, Dom Carbone.
Too good.
Hand passes across to her skipper in Duggan. She kicks out wide to Dodsworth. Couldn't take the mark, but she's got plenty of space and the opportunity to tidy up and drive them forward again. Tashara Davin out in front there of Hartaluni. Took possession, hand pass forward, but Hartaluni worked back onto it, and hand pass comes inboard now, and Buffalo's the chance through Carbone, but it's like Halkitis under that one, couldn't hold the mark, but she's first to recover on the ground, gets a hand pass forward. Maria Bilius there for Wanderers couldn't pick up, but the quick kick out by Shania Henderson for Wanderers relieved the pressure for them somewhat. And we're back inside the centre square now, but plenty of Buffs players around this one. Ball spills out and now it's stuck underneath, but a high tackle is the call from the umpire, so the opportunity for Wanderers to clear it out of their defensive
much better leading
pass.
pattern there. That's the one that we want. Out a bit wider.
Khan went right out wide, and Kalakis first there for Wanderers. Opportunity now with some space, gets a hand pass back inside. And Deanna Peckham drives Wanderers forward again on the bounce. Picked up nicely there by Armistead. She's tackled as she tries a centering kick, and Carbone's going to be first there for Buffaloes. Tried to break the tackle. Ball spilled out when she was tackled. Probably lucky to get away with that. But Buffs come forward again. And Brown in there first for Buffs, showing a good cleaner heels. And kicks forward, chases her own kick. Tashara Davin in a foot race with her. Davin overruns the ball, but supported by the defender there in Halkitis, and Wanderers able to clear it out of defensive 50 again.
I think Halkitis might have been one of their more prominent defenders last time they played.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be having as much impact today.
So ball on the ground, towed forward by Meredith Turner. Armistead's in there. Turner over the top, got into the back of Armistead, and so it'll be a Wanderers free kick at half back. Sophie Armistead kicks out towards the outer wing.
Plenty of space out there. Who's leading at her though? Not much to kick to, unfortunately.
So Kalakis drives it long, and reading that pretty well was Chev Fewings. She switches the ball back into the corridor looking for O'Connell. almost marks overhead, but the ball spills in front of her. And on the ground now, ball looks to be going nowhere, and the umpire comes in, and we'll have a ball up near enough to the centre of the ground.
Just while we're waiting for the umpire here, good opportunity to chat about Morgan Johnston, who's moving to Melbourne as of tomorrow. So good luck to Morg. She's a little bit nervous about her move, relocating down there as part of the AFLW train-on squad member at Collingwood, and will be playing VFLW. So look out for her this season.
Yeah, great opportunity for her, and we wish her all the best. Of course, Wanderers missing her on the field today. She was really prominent last time we saw them, Heidi.
Yeah, I think they've had a few in since last weekend. They did get a fair defeat against Tars last weekend. It was a pretty frustrating game for Morgan by all accounts. But to have the likes of Sophia Mauboy and Armistead back in, they've been a lot stronger today.
So, ball going forward here. It's Briston for Buffett's on top of that one, and she gets a toe forward now. Follows up her own work and with some strong body work in there. Diving in was Jones Cabillo for Wanderers, and then some strong tackling on Kalakis, and it'll be a ball up again. So yeah, certainly some strong work around the ball from both sides, and players coming away from the contest with a bit of a limp, but they keep going. It's good, strong football. And speaking of strong football, Carbone's in there again.
Another don't argue. Add it to the tally. And Marley Gunderson running onto it. I've been really impressed with her first game back.
She's found DeSantis in some space. She looks to play on straight away. That sells that candy again, and finds Hartaluni. So the experienced DeSantis. And a great kick by. It's gone over her head though, and bounces into the goalpost. So
Dels need to run towards that, not away from it.
Almost an each-way bet, and missed out both ways.
Is Delcy trying to shepherd that through?
I'm not sure what she was trying to do.
I'm not sure. Indecision.
Sometimes it's easier from up here in the commentary box to say what they should have done.
Is, most definitely.
So Desace in between two Buffs players, took the mark and then drove it deep out of the defensive area. But there's a bit of a scramble for the ball in the centre of the ground now, picked up cleanly by Carbone, but ran into a bit of wall of Wanderers players.
Footy pinballing around there in the contest.
Hard hits going on.
Comes out into some space now, and a hand pass forward, but a kick forward there by Rachel Henderson for Buffs. And Dodsworth gets a hand pass forward as she's tackled.
Just needed to work together there. They had two people going for the ball. One should have put the shepherd on, and they would have worked that out
again.
Khan had some space, but then ducked back into the traffic, and it's
look who it is. Ikono playing as a spare.
Yeah, there's no one near her for 25 metres.
Yep.
She reads the play really well in defence. Dodsworth kicks towards centre half forward, goes over the top of O'Connell there, and Jamila Totham works the ball out for Wanderers, but under pressure again, and now the opportunity for Duggan. Her kick's smothered. And Totham's in there again for Wanderers, but falls into the hands of Duggan, who kicks the ball across field, and Wanderers with a couple of players in some space, the opportunity to work it out of defence, and here's a chance to go forward. It falls in the hands of Desace. She's tackled and hand passes to her teammate Kalakis, who kicks out to a running player wide, drives the ball long, but pretty smart in defence and reading the play well. Back there for Buffs was Danielle Totham. But
Malboy,
now
you wouldn't want to be in the way there.
Malboy almost had her jumper pulled there, I think. But another chance for Wanderers going forward. Deanna Peckham, but her kick's dribbling towards the boundary line. It's not going to reach the boundary line, and Buffs the chance to pick up and drive out of defence close to the boundary, and boundary umpire eventually calls it out of bounds just outside defensive 50 for the Buffettes.
Well, earlier today, Waratah beat Pint by 14 points, so Pint can't jump Wanderers for 6th spot if Wanderers lose, which is looking likely here. And of course, St Mary's take on Tracy Village after this game, so not that game should affect the top of the ladder too much.
Yeah, by all accounts, Cruzy, that was a really close match. In fact, Tars were down the entire game and came back in the fourth quarter and ended up winning by 14 points. But by all accounts, Pint thought they had it in the bag. So really, really interesting match.
It's one of those seasons where there's been so many what you would call upsets, with Nightcliff having a few really good wins lately. Buffs have had a few losses, and Southern Districts, so anything can happen at this end of the year.
Yeah, and then I'm going to race to the game after this one, which will be Palmerston and Nightcliff out at Palmerston, and that'll be a cracking game because Palmy definitely want to win that one to secure top 4.
Absolutely.
And Nightcliff, if they knock off Palmy, they've won against every team in the top 4. They've beaten each of the top 4 teams, so a real confidence booster for them as well.
Amazing comeback story for the Tigers.
It is. It's been a breakout season for them, really, in women's football, and of course their men's team top of the ladder as well. So things pretty strong down there, and of course the importance of 6th position, that if those people that aren't familiar, is that we have a final 6 in the women's competition. So it looks like Wanderers, despite looking like going down here today, in a position to hold on to that 6th spot and play finals footy again this year.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before, Stu. I don't know whether any other state has done it. It's usually top 4 or top 8, or I've never heard of the top 6.
Yeah, NTFL has a top 6.
Yeah,
it always has done as well. So.
Okay.
But it's not the best
super
final
common
system.
Yeah.
But it gives more teams the opportunity to play finals footy, of course, and keeps teams interested for longer in the season.
Yep.
So anyway, while all that's happened, Buffs have worked the ball up to the centre of the ground, and Gunderson hand passes over the top. It's Carbone working strongly again in there, kicks forward, but Siren beats any opportunity for another score. So just the one goal that quarter, Liz.
Yep, it was. So 3-quarter time, we've got Buffett 7-7-49, leading Wanderers 1-2-8 with just the final quarter to go.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches. boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Well, welcome back to the TIO NTFL Women's Premier League. We've got the final quarter coming up of Buffettes versus Wanderers. Buffs 7-7-49 are leading Wanderers 1-2-8. And guys, we were just talking in the break that there's only 2 rounds to go after this, and who might be up there in a few weeks at the Gwyn Medal. Obviously, Janet Baird from Palmerston won it last year, which was she was a really popular winner. But is there anyone that stood out for you this season, Heidi and Stu?
Yeah, putting me on the spot, Chrissy. I just had a little think then. I probably would be betting on players in teams that maybe aren't figuring in the top 4 currently. Although Ebony Miller's hard to go past, leading goal kicker at the moment, and is out by a country mile. But Shakeen Desache's really impressed me from Wanderers. Players like Dom Carbone, Arthurina Marine from Palmerston as well probably will figure quite highly, but it's really anyone's race.
And Eliza Morrison from Nightcliffe's been
Eliza
really,
Morrison, yes, most
really
definitely.
good. We can't forget her.
We all love Eliza.
Most definitely. She did miss a couple of games, holidaying, and Katie Stretter as well.
Yeah, Kylie Duggan, there she is.
Speaking of Kylie Duggan, drives them forward, but chopped off there by Emma Bond, I think.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see who votes from Nightcliff, because they've had such a good season, and Eliza's definitely been part of the charge.
Yeah, Chantel Miskin-Rippier would poll, but however she's missed quite a few games, so she won't poll as high as someone like Eliza. I'm trying to think of...
Robbo at TARS always gets votes.
Yeah, Lisa Roberts will figure quite highly.
Yeah, and they've had a good season. Oh, great
fantastic mark over the top there by Taylor Harder-Looney.
She's been good today.
That is classic. Harder-Looney loves to come from behind her defender and just take a hanger like that.
She'd probably catch the umpire's eye as well, from what we've seen.
Yep, especially with new boots every week.
Kicks right in towards the teeth of goal now. Spills over the back, and Ariwa there for Wanderers gets the kick out of defence.
And another thing that Taylor Harder-Looney is well known for is her closing speed. Many of those tackles last year in the Under-18 Championships where opponents just thought they were away, and she just closed down and absolutely nailed them and get the free.
So kicked inboard to the leading Meredith Turner, but the ball just fell short, and now it's caught up under a bunch of players there, about 20 metres out from the Buffs goal. Strong hit out there by Tamika Bullen, but teammate couldn't pick it up, and it's bounced over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. So Bullen again wins this hit out. Strong work there by DeSantis off the ball. But Bullen picks up, kicks forward. O'Connell on the end of it gets a hand pass out. DeSantis gets the beat to ball. And
there's the celebration, Rosie.
He loves it.
They've all gotten around her.
So a terrific finish. And she knew where the goals were, that's for sure.
It's
and
been a while between drinks for Rosie. Hasn't played Women's Premier League for a little while, but you wouldn't know. She's out there straight into it.
She's been around a long, long time. I remember playing for St Mary's with her about 12 years ago, and she played in a few premierships there before moving over to Buffs, and a very good sportswoman all round, playing cricket as well and football. So, and of course her daughter Mattia is a good footballer for Southern Districts as well.
So Buff's just running away with it a little bit now. Wanderers might be running out of legs a little bit. You've got Sophie Armistead in the middle. But some of their key players are missing from the middle of the ground.
So Wanderers win this clearance, but a strong mark in defence.
Oh, they got Malboy forward.
And that was Rachel Henderson for Buffs. Took that strong mark at centre half back, played on, drove the ball back to the centre of the ground. Kick comes out here now, and Iakono again in the right position.
I saw Henderson on the news this week in the Yuppers soccer team.
Yes,
Indigenous women's soccer team, which has just launched. So she's another one who crosses codes in sport. Yeah, I think they've played at a few rep tournaments, and now they're going to play in the Women's Premier League in the soccer competition here.
So Kerry O'Connell over the back. Almost had an opportunity to run into goal, but
would have been the icing on the cake for O'Connell.
She's had a good game, Kerry.
But a good defensive tackle by Emma Bond for Wanderers. Halted that forward charge.
I think this would only be about Emma's second or third game. She played a few games in Div 2 earlier this year after moving back from boarding school. So she's only 19, I think, Emma. One of the Bonds from Wanderers. So she's just learning football.
So the ball worked its way out almost to outside defensive 50 for Wanderers, and we've got a boundary throw in.
Tap.
Good tap in front, but some good defensive work by Amy Narkle there with the tackle. Ball's caught underneath Kylie Duggan and Shania Henderson, and we'll have another ball up. Henderson there is tackled as soon as she picked up the ball. Oh, not much opportunity to get rid of that one, but she's been pinged for holding the ball. And Buffs the opportunity to go forward again. Tamika Bullen.
Yeah, I liked her game today, Tamika Bullen.
So kicks towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing there, Halkitis back there is tackled, but tackled high is the umpire's call. And
need to go out the other side here.
She's looking grandstand side
back to density.
Yeah,
right foot.
There. A good strong mark taken by Danielle Tottam in front, and she'll go back and kick from 35. Looks to centre the ball up high, off hands, and on the ground now. Sophie Armistead's in there, gets a kick out and falls into the lap of her teammate Kiona Desachi. She kicks towards her sister out here on the outer wing. Got her hands to the ball but couldn't take the mark. Kai Bones in there trying to break the tackle. Forces the ball out eventually, and a quick kick comes out, and now Buffs the opportunity to go forward again through Demi Cabillo. Just at the 50-metre line. It's picked up there by Dodsworth with a hand pass across to Schmidt in space. She drives the ball forward again.
How's it going to sit for Delsey? Runs over the boundary line.
Runs over the line, and so another boundary throw in.
Speaking of award winners, Mickey Roberts, of course, was Buff's best and fairest last year, Heidi, but she played the start of the season, but of course she got drafted to Collingwood, which is fantastic. How's Mickey going?
Yeah, great. And I've spoken to Mickey a couple of times. She's finding the move tough, a little bit tough down there, cold, but she's loving the new environment and high performance behind it all, really sinking her teeth into it. She had a match simulation 2 weeks ago and then a practice match last week against the Melbourne Demons. So we've got our fingers and toes and everything crossed for Mickey to hopefully make her debut in AFLW in round 1 next weekend.
That'll be great.
So Gemma Iakono surprisingly took an intercept mark as the ball came out
Total
of defence.
shock.
There's still no one on her. There's no one
No.
within 25 metres of her. I don't think she's been picked up all day.
So Desachi in there working hard for Wanderers. Gets the ball forward towards the centre of the ground, and some tidy work by Buffett's. Sees them rebound again. Some good evasive work
Clean.
there by Rachel Henderson. Drives the ball forward for Buffs. But Emma Bond in there tackled off the ball without possession, and she'll take the free kick.
Meredith Turner pleading at the umpire there. Wasn't me.
It was a bit high, Meredith.
She plays on with a hand pass across to Hariwa. Her kick out of defence falls in the lap, though, of Taylor Harder-Looney for Buffett's. And she'll drive Buffs forward again. Goes over the top. Duggan's there. Onto the one, kicks forward to the goal square. Strong in front was Halkitis again, and on the ground as well.
The forward line's really humming for Buffs now. Just Taylor Harder-Looney taking her time. You could see the two natural leading patterns coming out, and then she went for the link over the top, and Kylie Duggan was waiting for it like they'd been training that all year. So
Alcides did well there, though. She hasn't let Delse get in front of her for much of this game.
Yep.
Delsey keeps getting stuck behind.
Yep.
And she needs to get in front.
Yeah, Delsey's really had the run of it the last couple of weeks in front of her direct opponent.
So hit out there by Jude. Speaking of Delse, she got her hands on the ball there, but was tackled straight away, and eventually
just on the line,
forced over the line for a rush behind. So dangerous short kick in there, but Wanderers have got some numbers. They've got the opportunity to get it out.
Like you said, Heidi, I think they need to switch.
Yeah, they
switch
just keep
to the other side.
opting for the grandstand side here. I'm
Once
not
you've
sure why.
Done something 3 or 4 times and it doesn't work, it's time to change it.
Even a run and carry, just take it out of the square and try something new. Iakono getting in on the action here, but hits the post.
So just the minor score. It was Tanya Dew who took the intercept mark and hand passed across to Iakono, but turning around there was Pierre-Angelique Kalakis. Tried to kick the ball forward, but just was too close to the boundary line and kicked it out on the full. Kick only went a couple of metres, but out on the full, and chance now for Danielle Totham for Buffs to drive them forward again. Looks like Armistead on the end of this one. Couldn't take the mark under pressure, but she's in there again.
Had a sneaky look, I think, Soph Armistead there. Had a look up at who was coming rather than just securing the mark.
So Dew wins this hit out for Buffs, but Armistead's in there, gets a hand pass backwards. Kick comes out wide, but Iakono's there for Buffs, working further and further up the ground for her intercept possessions. And now ball's outside 50. Some good work in defence by Kalakis. Got the hand pass back and was dealt with after she got rid of the ball, so she'll take the free kick at half back for Wanderers.
Just, you can hear Soph Mauboy calling her troops back because there's literally no one to kick to here for Wanderers. And I really want them to go inboard to this player. I'm not sure who it is, which they have.
Yep.
Layla Khan, I think.
And as soon as you change the angle, it just creates that separation and you get a bit more space to run into.
So Selena Lloyd was working in there, got a hand pass forward. Armistead kicks forward, it's one-on-one, but Mauboy's a long way behind. The ball bounces past both players. It's Briston who's first back there, under some pressure from Mauboy now, who picks up. She's got the opportunity, gets a hand pass back, and another hand pass forward there, but
it's pretty scrappy, isn't it?
Astray, yeah. Hand pass comes out now, and now Armistead, good clean hands, gets a hand
showing
pass
her class there.
inboard to Lloyd. She tried to go back to Armistead, but she was under pressure, and now Buffs have got some numbers back, and the opportunity to clear out Carbone, working hard in there, as is Duggan. But Buffs eventually, with a hand pass over the top, work the ball out with a couple of hand passes and a kick out of defence, and Harder-Looney's on the end of this one again. She looking at her options now, goes down the
Mo
line.
Turner, nice lead, but just fell short.
Yeah, the kick just missed the target there, and again, just a little bit sloppy disposal from Hartaluni. I think that she
you're
needs
right.
to tidy
a bit more
up.
urgency and intent when she gets the footy. Just needs to turn and face her teammates, because if she saw that, she would have seen Mo pretty much with no one around her, and then would have pulled the trigger.
No, the boundary throw in. Iakono at the foot of the pack there, picked up, but some really good work in there by Desarchi again for Wanderers. And the ball's close to the boundary line, eventually goes over off hands, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
There's only about 5 minutes to go, and Buffs are certainly holding their lead. It's been low scoring, but Wanderers are still persisting, making them earn it.
Yeah, their effort isn't too bad. If I was Dave Totham, I don't think he'd be too impressed with this quarter, but I think he'd be happy with their effort and their endeavour.
Yep.
Probably just silly decisions, just keep coming back this side here and not really opening the game up. They've done it once and it's worked, so yeah, go with it.
So Malboy back in defence there, got a hand in there, and ball squirts out here towards the wing, but again, plenty of numbers around the ball, and it's not going anywhere.
Marley Gunderson in and under there with the pressure.
Ball up there, and
Bullen again doing the ruck duties.
And Iakono around the ball all the time in this final quarter, getting plenty of clearances as well. And it's good work back there by Halkitis, who ran off her defender and made the play and won herself a free kick. And we said that she wasn't too prominent early, but I think as the game's gone on, she's got more and more into the game, and she's and apart from getting quite a number of possessions, she's really shut down Delcia Wang today, and probably been one of Wanderers' better players in the end.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she's more dangerous now, that's for sure, than in the first half.
So Iakono around the ball again, but Harira in there, who's also been pretty good for Wanderers today, but strong tackle, and the ball spills out, but Kylie Duggan trying to get it out. Carbone picks up and kicks forward. Malboy right back on the last line of defence now. Fumbled that ball, but went back and was tackled high.
Yeah, put her head over the footy and won the free.
So no one to switch to on the other side, so she'll kick back into this side, and almost a misunderstanding there, but just at the last minute, Halkitis let it go for Tashara Davin, who took the mark and kicks long down this wing. Ball bouncing towards the boundary line, and Tiffany Paraman there couldn't keep it in, so we'll have a boundary throw in. As, the clock just ticks over 15 minutes, won't be much time on in this one, I wouldn't think. Only the one goal again this quarter. And Gunderson centres the ball this time. There's plenty of space there. Players running onto it. And Shayala Khan was first there for Wanderers, kept the ball out in front but couldn't pick it up cleanly. And now Wanderers another chance. Khan picks up, hand passes to Totham.
Great teamwork there. Jamila Totham just putting a shepherd on for her teammate to have a bit of time.
But the kick went astray, unfortunately, and Buffs repel that forward move again. And kick forward by Kiona Desarchi, but there's plenty of Buffalo players back there.
Good effort,
4
Sophie.
on 1.
4 on 1 there, and she nearly took the mark away.
But the siren's gone, and yeah, just the one goal in each of the third and fourth quarters for Buffs. The game fizzed out a bit in the end, Heidi.
Yeah, it did, yeah. Compared to last week, where it was highly skillful and entertaining and lots of run and carry and risky. It was a lot of playing it safe out there today, and it really showed on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just the experience of your Kylie Duggans, Gemma Iakonos, Marley Gunderson and Taylor Hartaluni. She was just
Superb.
outstanding. Outstanding game by her. It's seen Buffaloes take the game away 8-9-57 to Wanderers 1-8. Stu and Heidi, thanks for a great call.
Thanks Liz.
Cruzy.
It's good to see you both, and we've got another game coming up now with Crocs against
Wanderers in the Men's Premier League.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting as well.